like I've been living the past 2 years as just like a street goblin.
You all right?
Hello? Yeah, no, I'm not crying. I'm sorry. No, I'm smoking a.
What a great sentence. No, I'm not crying. I'm just smoking a joint. What do you think people don't understand about being a street goblin? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, what is your name?
My name's Nikki. I go by Nikki the Star.
Nikki, what's going on? How can I get you today?
I'm so excited. I'm ecstatic to be gecked.
Well, it says here you wanted to talk about being homeless by choice for the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's kind of been like a house hopping type situation, to be honest.
Okay, what's the deal?
I don't know. It's like more peaceful, and I kind of get to like be wherever I want. Like I live in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, and I've gotten to like go everywhere in Ohio, in a sense.
So when you say that you are okay, so you've been homeless by choice. So you say that you've been house hopping for the past 2 years. What does that mean
it's mostly
exactly?
So I just went through my third toxic roommate. This one was the worst of it. I went over to his house to pick up my stuff ultimately, and he kicked the side mirror off of my friend's car.
Okay.
And like threatened to pull out a gun and everything. It was.
Hold on, before we get into what. So you're like, what does house hopping mean? Like, what do you do? Whose houses are you hopping?
It's kind of just I'm a stripper and a porn star.
Okay.
Like that's my full-time profession. But it's kind of just like it's really toxic men that I shouldn't move in with, and it's not great. I can't get out of the cycle at this point.
So, okay, so you're homeless by choice, hopping around the houses of different guys, and you're living there for a little bit of time, and you've been doing this for 2 years all over Ohio.
Yeah, no, I don't know what chat's saying because I'm not on.
I don't want to talk about chat. Don't think about the chat. Don't think about just.
Like
I'm just curious.
Matter.
Okay, don't think about any of that stuff. I'm just asking you. So that's what you're doing?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
Okay, how is that going?
Well, I'm homeless as of yesterday. But ultimately, like, my biggest thing is I've had the money at multiple points. Like, I'm homeless, carless. I've never bought an apartment or anything like that, and I've had the money to do so, but for some reason it feels more comforting to do it how I'm doing it. So I call myself, like, nomadic by choice.
Okay, so you've made money stripping and doing porn. And you've made enough money that if you really wanted to, you could rent an apartment. But
yeah, like I've had all the things to put my life back together, and I really just haven't.
Okay, and so instead, how are you meeting these guys that you're living at their houses?
I don't actually know. It's a really bad habit of kind of moving in with strangers. I'm just like I'm careless in a destructive sense.
How do you meet these strangers that you move in with?
I'm not sure. I have like memory issues from a lot of brain damage, and I can't remember the stories of how I met most of them, but I do end up moving in like shortly after meeting these people.
How many different people's houses have you stayed at over the past 2 years?
I think over 4 or 5. It only lasts a couple months, and then I gotta find the next one.
And are you like, do you have stuff? Like, what do you do with your stuff?
I've lived in totes, right? I own 3 totes worth of things, and I kind of just live like that.
All right. And what in these past like 5 dudes' houses that you've lived in, what has the experience been like?
Well, most of them ended up really badly, and me getting kicked out in like a really traumatic manner.
Okay. So, if you have the money, why do you not get your own place?
Well, currently I'm on like probation and stuff, but prior to this, I I don't know. I have like a weird outlook on life. I've been through like a lot of trauma and a lot of like life-changing experiences. I got really heavily into like a lot of psychedelics for a while too. So I feel like introspective about the world, but like I have a condition where I have seizures if I get too stressed out. So in order to like keep my seizures to a minimum, I have to live completely stress-free. So I don't like everything about owning a house or an apartment.
Okay, I'm gonna
like
stop
stress.
you. I need to stop you right there.
Oh no,
What? I'm sorry. What'd you say your name was again?
Nikki the Star.
You're telling me, by choice, you believe that you being homeless and staying at the houses of strangers that you just met is less stressful than just having your own apartment?
Yeah,
How did you come to that conclusion?
I don't know. It's also just like I started off doing this when I was in like a really bad position.
Okay.
And like ultimately it's easier and less stressful for me not to change my situation.
Nikki, do you want better for your life?
I don't know that better is like a good word.
I think better is a good word. I think better is a good
mean,
word in this situation.
I'm going to be 100% honest. Even in my situation, my current situation, it's not optimal. I'm sure nobody dreams of this life. I feel the best I've ever felt in my life. I feel honestly fantastic about my life.
Okay.
For the most part. I mean, it's not all optimal, but I mean, I've been to the bottom of the barrel.
Okay.
So I feel like I get to enjoy everything else a lot more. The little things in life mean a whole lot more.
So tell me more why you feel like, you know, these past 2 years. Why do you feel like your life is the best it's ever been?
I had like a whole traumatic assault case when I was really young. I was like 14, 15, and my whole childhood I was just like sheltered. I turned 18, I got kicked out before I turned 18, and this is when all of this has started. But like I chose to spend my adult life so far not worrying about being an adult as much as like enjoying, like I have a good quality in life, which I don't feel like a lot of people can say, and that's what I've been working on.
Okay.
My mental health and my physical health are really bad off, so
you all right?
Hello? Yeah, no, I'm not crying. I'm sorry. No, I'm smoking a.
You're not. That's what a great sentence. No, I'm not crying. I'm just smoking a joint.
It's good weed.
Okay, sure. All right. You know what? But all right. There's so many things going on here that are interesting.
You know what? What I think actually is responsible for it.
Go ahead.
I watched all of the adults in my childhood unhappy with their life because they never spent time trying to find quality in life, and they just spent time living life.
I really do, Nikki, I really do feel like you are reaching positive conclusions and then making wrong decisions based off of those positive conclusions.
100%, and I hope.
Because here's the thing, I'm happy to hear that you are. It sounds to me like you're just like, oh, things were so bad, and now they're not as bad, and I'm really grateful for that, and I think that's sick. But I still don't understand why by choice. If you're telling me the truth, and this really is by choice, that by choice you are opting to meet strange guys in ways that you don't even remember and sleep at their houses instead of just getting an apartment with the money that you say that you have.
It sounds really bad for everybody. Well, I'm not saying that I had money at the time that I moved into their house. I'm more so saying like
I'm talking about today.
Time,
I'm talking about right now.
Well, right now I just got kicked out of the last one. I don't currently have money for all that because life's been a shit show this year. But like I'm just saying, everybody kind of looks at my life from a distance and doesn't really understand it.
What do you think people don't understand about your life?
Like nobody would do the things I do, but me and my best friend, we call ourselves goblins, and we just kind of like, I've been living the past 2 years as just like a street goblin.
Okay. What do you think people don't understand about being a street goblin?
I don't know. I do goblin shit 24/7. It's permanent goblin time over here. Just my whole day is dedicated to whatever the fuck flies at me, and
okay.
like it's always goblin shit.
So look, I think that you can kind of do whatever you want as long as you're happy and as long as you're safe. Do you feel like you're safe?
I do.
Can I ask you this too? Like, what's your deal with your family?
My family is not great, and I don't know, they just didn't like how I turned out.
Okay.
Which I get it. I mean, I'm a stripper and porn star, and I do like let people know this proudly.
Okay.
I'm proud of my career choices, and my family doesn't vibe with strippers.
Okay. And you said you have a goblin friend. How do you know her?
My goblin friend I actually met at the strip club the first time we ever met. She worked at a sex store at the time, and she had they'll give you freebies when you work there if they're like getting rid of stuff, and they gave her butthole lube, and she does not do anal, so so we befriended each other over butthole lube. Okay.
Do you have any concerns at all about the way that you live, or about or okay? Well, how about this? If not any concerns about your present, do you have any concerns for the future?
I do have concerns for the future, definitely.
Okay, what are your concerns for the future?
I don't know. I don't spend too much time worrying about like what's going to happen because I do have some significant brain damage. Like I got to focus on processing what's going on now in this current moment. Like I don't really do like plans or schedules or anything like that. I don't worry horrifically about the future, but I do, like I have been wondering lately if there's something else that's going to be better one day. Like,
is there something else in your
getting a house? Like I have been in the longing for like I have decorations, but they've stayed in a box for 2 years now, so I've never been somewhere long enough to decorate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sense, and like somewhere to confidently call a home definitely like gets to me.
Okay. Have you ever seen a real therapist or a doctor to talk about any of these things?
So, I mean, I have in the past, and it's all been very traumatizing. But I almost like to think of myself, I'm a little delusional, and I'll put it out there now. But I do find myself like very therapizing. I've got a lot going on in my brain, and like a lot of it's some really serious mental stuff. But I feel like I understand my own brain better than I could explain it to somebody else.
Okay, that's an interesting thought. But I'm not even saying, I guess, explaining it. Why was therapy? Was it helpful for you?
I don't feel like so I'm unmedicated and feral, I like to call it. I don't go to therapy, and it never helped me, and medications never helped me either.
Okay.
I just smoke some weed and I get on with my day.
All right. Do you feel like you'll be okay?
Okay, it's very retrospective. I didn't get to tell you why. I feel a little bit safer because I also do have background in like dominatrix work.
Okay. What the fuck was I gonna say just now?
There's a lot going on. I know there is.
Sure. All right. I'm debating how much concern this is raising, I guess, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Whoa! Oh, I know what I was gonna ask. Where are you calling me from right now?
I am currently at it's the guy I'm sleeping with sister's and her girlfriend's birthday today, so we're having a seafood boil, and I'm allergic to seafood, so.
Okay, so you started hooking up with a guy, and it's his sister's birthday, so he brought you to this seafood boil.
Oh yeah, I'm like
okay.
I'm like their little pet. I'm their little stripper pet. They just bring me everywhere. I look pretty and stand in the background.
Okay, well, shit. I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about in this regard? I just like, look, I think it's good that you enjoy your life, that you're enjoying going goblin mode. I just would think that, like, especially like if you, like, even like if you're making money and you have money, I would think, if I were you, about how you can use the money that you're making and the money that you're saving and the money that, you know, whatever you're, you know, how you can invest it, how you can use it to gain a sense of stability so that, you know, you can still be goblin mode. I actually, like, you can still, like, because to me, look, goblin mode. Okay, I have thoughts. It took me a little bit to come up with my thoughts. I have decided what I think about this. Goblin mode that you are describing, this freedom, this I do what I want, I don't care what other people think about me. I've spent my whole life fucking whatever, bowing down to parents or bowing down to whatever the fuck, and now I'm gonna do what I want, I'm gonna live how I want. My parents just did whatever they were told forever, and I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna go goblin mode. I think that's cool. For real. I do. Okay? But I think you can have that mindset and live your life with that mindset without being homeless. I think I've and I said this during this call. I've said this. You've come to positive conclusions. It's just the actions that I feel like some of the actions that you have taken as a result of the positive conclusions you've come to are wrong turns, you know, like.
I'm not saying I disagree at all.
Okay.
But it's a very delusional life that I'm living.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I'm happy. My quality of life is fantastic. That's
great.
Was kind of my concern.
And that's great.
After getting past 18, your first concern should be not hating your adult life.
Great. And that's great. And I don't know if you believe me, but I think you can maintain that level of happiness, if not even increase it, by choosing not to be homeless and live with strangers that you don't remember meeting.
I was thinking about
that's my word. You can think about it, you can take it, or you can leave it, but that's I guess what I have to say.
I mean, it's valid. I feel like I'm also 20, and I'm not really like vibing with the idea of being an adult at the moment. So the least amount of adult shit I could possibly do so that I don't wake up every day and cry is all right with me. Like, I still go to work and I still, like, pay my bills. There's a couple that are necessary, but...
Well, Nikki, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
No, I just love watching your show. I'm excited to see this episode. I've been waiting forever. I was sitting there and I was admiring them tearing apart crawfish shells. And then I saw that you'd called, so I ran outside.
Well, take care, Nikki. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
You.
Goblin mode. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say that I didn't already say while I was talking to her, but shit, I don't know, man. It's like if your homie told you that he was good. It's like if what's the Into the Wild? You guys know Into the Wild? It's with that guy Christopher McCandless, was that his name? I think that's his name. It might not. That might be the name of something that could be, but there's this guy who went into the woods by choice to survive off of berries and nothing else. And in a weird way, he went feral mode when Christopher McCandless. You can look this up. Look up, I don't know, people look up Into the Wild. Christopher McCandless. He wrote a whole book. There's a movie about it. He by choice was homeless and went into the woods. I don't think he told anyone. I don't know. I really don't remember. But if he did, right? Like, if he did, if your friend was like, hey, I'm gonna go live in the woods because nobody can tell me what to do and I'm going goblin mode, you'd be concerned, right? You'd be concerned. But a lot of people think Christopher McCandless was awesome. And they egged him on, and they were like, you know, this guy is a hero. He's sick. He defied convention, and he's inspired me to also exit the capitalist hellscape that I live in and go live in the woods. Other people are like, hey, you know, he did do that, and I don't know exactly how long. But pretty soon after he did that, he died. He super died. He died a lot. He very much died after doing that. And I don't think he lasted that long. And a lot of people are like, hey, you know, he died, so it probably wasn't the greatest idea for him to go goblin mode. Which camp was right? I don't know. That's a matter of personal philosophy, I suppose. I will not be going goblin mode anytime soon. I will be sitting and eating chips. Hello?
Hello. Hi, Gek.
What is your name?
Millie.
Millie, what's going on? How's life?
Well, I guess I just kind of wanted to talk about my dad.
Go ahead.
So, whenever me and my brother don't talk to him for a few days, or like we're mad at him, he will go on Facebook and say that he passed away.
How does he say that he passed away? Who does he pose as making the post?
That's what we don't really know.
So what's your dad's name, or give me a fake name? What's his?
Jacob.
Okay, so Jacob goes Jacob Frankfurt. That's your fake last name. Jacob Frankfurt has died. Post by Jacob Frankfurt.
Yeah, so what exactly happened was he changed his Facebook banner. It was just like a blurry photo of nothing. And then someone replied to it, like one of his friends, and said, "Are you okay?" And then my dad replied back as himself saying he passed, period. And then
go ahead.
And then the friend replied, "Who passed?" And then he replied, "Jacob did." And like, I don't have Facebook, so I didn't see this, but my other siblings and like my friends, they contacted me like, have you heard from your dad? Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh God, what did he do? And they're like, well, he's saying that he passed on Facebook. And I'm like, ugh.
How many times did he fake his own death?
On Facebook, only the once, but he's doing it again. So that was about a year ago, and he never really explained what that was about. And about a few days ago, him and my brother have like issues that they need to work on or whatever. My brother was trying to have that conversation with him, and instead of having that conversation, my dad like calls me and starts going off on me, saying that we don't care that he's dying. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're dying. And like, I'll try to get him to tell me like what's going on. Like,
so wait a minute. So a year ago, when he posts that he's dying, how does he get how does he get caught that he's not dead? When do you find out that he's not dead?
He'll just keep posting again, like nothing happened. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't see how he doesn't see how that's insane, or like how it's going to affect us. You know, like, we have our own shit going on. And on top of this, we have a dad that's... One day he's perfectly fine, and then the next he's screaming at me on the phone saying, you don't care that I'm dying. And I'm like... I don't know. I'm like, are we going to see on Facebook again that he...
So what it seems like you in general have a tumultuous relationship with your dad.
Sorry, what did you say?
It seems in general that you have a tumultuous relationship with your dad.
Yeah, it's I don't like, I love him a lot, but he stresses me out beyond belief. Like, also last night he calls me at 5 a.m. and I'm asleep, and he leaves me a voicemail saying, well, I tried. I'm like, what do you mean you tried? You called at 5 a.m.
So he's dying again?
Yeah.
Is he really dying? Why does he say he's dying again?
He just threatens that, I guess. Like, I talk to him very often. I keep up with him. I ask him about his health, and he always says everything's fine. Until, like, either I don't talk to him for a few days, or my brother goes off on him, and then suddenly he's dying.
Is your dad married?
Yeah.
What's going on with his wife?
So they take care of his mom, and she does like the day shifts and he does night shifts. So as far as he tells me, they don't really get to spend much time together.
Him and his wife?
I mean, they're happily married.
So this is not a guy who's just completely alone and is trying to get attention from his kids because he's lonely. He's happily married.
Yeah.
How long has he been like doing shit like this?
A long time. I mean, the threatening of dying, I can't even remember. Honestly, he is, like, he's such a smart man, but he's so dramatic and, like, says the craziest things. Like, just the other night, he was mad that I didn't reply to him within 30 minutes. And then he texts me, "You're selfish. You know what? Just don't bother. Karma seeks those who seek it."
So, this is probably what I assume a real therapist would tell you, that your dad has no boundaries.
Uh-huh.
Have you attempted to set boundaries with your dad?
When I do, he starts screaming and saying that we don't care about him. And like I keep saying, he will go back to the "I'm dying and you don't care." And I'm like,
Is he dying?
I mean, as far as I know, no.
How does your brother deal with all
no.
this shit? How does your brother deal with all this shit?
He tells me that I should block him. And
I assume that means your brother has him blocked.
he has. I mean, I'm the only one of his kids that he has like an actual relationship with.
How many kids does he have?
4, and 3 that also don't talk to him anymore.
Okay, so you're the last one that like wants to put up with him.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, and I mean, this is not a leading question in any way, shape, or form. But I'm curious, why do you put up with him?
That's a good question. That's what my brother asked. Because I love him. That's the simple answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he drives me crazy and he says crazy, hurtful things sometimes, but like, I don't know.
You all right, Millie?
Yeah.
Okay. How much longer do you think you can put up with him?
I don't know. I mean, this has been happening for a long time. Like, this isn't just the only crazy thing.
Well, yeah, he faked his own death twice. That's 2 crazy things. Have you ever spoken to a real therapist about this?
No.
Okay. You probably should. But I assume they would tell you, I don't know. I don't fucking know what a real therapist would say in this situation. But fucking...
Everyone that I talk to about it, they say, don't deal with this. You don't deserve this. But I feel like if I really stop talking to him, who knows what he would do. Like, if he acts like this when he doesn't get a text back in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but okay, you know what? Look, I'm gonna actually like let loose on this one a little bit. How old is your dad?
62.
62. Is he mentally competent?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not. There's not like something divergent about him.
No, I mean, he drinks a lot.
Okay. So your dad's 62. So, in my opinion, and how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29. So when your dad was in his 30s, he decided to have a kid. And with that decision, it's like a crazy decision to make. Where your dad was 30, he decided to have a kid. And he kind of has to take on one of the responsibilities of doing that, which is to not consistently call your kid yelling at her and saying hurtful things, you know. And it kind of sounds like he you know, I mean, has he shown you any remorse at all?
Yes, but like it's really passive aggressive or backhanded. Like, I mean, for example, when he went off on me the other day for no reason and started saying that I don't care about his health and stuff, I was like, what makes me selfish? Like, what am I doing?
Your dad is I'm playing, I mean, I guess it's my job to play armchair therapist. I guess that's what I fucking do. But to play armchair therapist, your dad sounds like he's taking all of his problems and unleashing them upon to you and making them your problems, which is truly a horrible thing for a parent to do to their kid. I believe.
He has always done that too, and like.
Yeah, it's a terrible fucking reason to have a kid.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because, like, I have my own shit going on. I have my own life. I can't answer at 5 a.m. You know, I don't know. Me and my brother thought, like, after we found out that he was okay, obviously, like, we thought it was pretty funny to write on your own Facebook as yourself that you passed in a comment.
It's really, really funny. It's very funny. It's very funny to do that, and then afterwards, you know, update your fucking Candy Crush scores.
Yeah, 24 hours later, he's posting his Candy Crush.
That's funny. You know, I feel, I like, for real, I feel bad for your dad. Because I don't know why he like, that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I feel bad for your dad because clearly he's in a lot of pain, but he doesn't, I feel bad for you because he's unleashing his pain upon to you, which is not a cool thing for, you know, a parent to do to their kid. And I don't think you should, I don't think you're required to put up with it.
I feel bad for him too, and I guess that's why I keep responding. And
right, but I think you can feel bad for him and want him to be better without taking a loan out of the bank of your sanity.
Yeah.
And I know, by the way, that's an extremely hard thing to do. I actually have no idea. You know, like, this is like, we're discussing a pretty, like, emotionally distressing and complex thing that's way easier said than easier said by a gecko than done. But you know, I don't know, man. It's a really it's a tough situation. I feel I feel your stress.
Yeah, he'll spam text me late at night, like 1 second, it's really sweet, like, I love you so much, you mean the world to me, and then 10 minutes later, it's shame on you.
Bro, tell your dad to get help. I mean, that you know what?
Well, he's not gonna listen to me.
That's probably what I would do if I was you. Unfortunately, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Is like, I would just, I like, your dad, like you can set up a kind of, I guess, like an ultimatum, a thing where it's like, look, you can be a part of my life, but you gotta fucking get help, dude. Like, you gotta, because there's something going on with you. Your brother did that exact thing?
But yeah, a few days ago, and that's what unleashed this.
I mean, if that's what your brother did, then if that's what your brother did, then the ball is in your dad's court.
He just doesn't reply to him, and then he calls me, yelling at me that we don't care. It's just the same cycle, like.
It's a bummer,
and it's so frustrating.
I think you should tell your dad he's got to get help. He's got to work on himself. If you're gonna talk to him, because he can't just like. Because like he's your dad. You clearly love him, and you want him to not be insane. But he's gotta also want himself to not be insane, and not just like take it out on you.
I don't. Sorry, I don't see how he doesn't realize like what he is doing is unfair and crazy.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
And he's smart. Like he's smart. So that's another reason I don't understand how he could act like this. And we're nothing but completely rational too to him. And it's a good thing he deleted his Facebook because
it's a good thing he deleted his Facebook. I think Facebook was too powerful a tool for him, and frankly, too powerful a tool for several people of his age. I think. I don't know if you ever go on Reddit. You ever go to r/insane people Facebook?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of your dads out there also faking their own deaths on a daily basis. So I hope you don't feel alone in that. What's your name again? Millie?
Mm-hmm. Millie.
Well, listen, Millie. Again, this is a tough situation, but I hope you do whatever is best for you. I know that's like an empty thing to say. I'm bad at ending conversations, but I feel like we got some good stuff out in the middle of this. You know what I mean? Like if you judged it on the middle, not on the end, when I said a platitude to you, I think it would have been I think it was a good. Do you think was this a helpful conversation to you in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, you kind of just said what everyone in my life says.
I absolutely assume I am not the first person to tell you all of these things. But listen. Similar to how you can tell your dad that he needs to do something all he wants, at the end of the day, he's the one that's got to make the choice, and as are you, the one that has to make yours.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
If your dad ever writes on his own Facebook that he passed away, and you're not sure, then it's probably not true.
I don't know. I have no idea. Facebook's kind of crazy. Okay, bye, Millie.
Bye. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, you know what? This is I kind of want to go look at crazy Facebook stuff. There's still people on there. Do you know that? You ever log into Facebook? It's to see who's still on there. It's pretty. Like I remember being on Facebook in like 2017 and seeing people Facebook into the void. You know those people who are Facebooking into the void. Like whoever when you were on Facebook in 2017 was Facebooking into the void, and you were looking at their statuses and going, how does this person keep making these Facebook statuses for no one? I guarantee, like if you have someone in your head, I guarantee if you log into your Facebook right now, they posted an hour ago and they're still doing it. And you know what? Actually, and by the way, I don't mean to say this as a dick thing, like, oh, that person's crazy. I actually don't think that person is crazy. I fully understand why people Facebook into the void. It's like journaling. They're basically journaling. That's what they're doing. They're journaling, and they're like, it kind of feels good to take my journal and throw it into the void just so it's there. That's what it is, man. That's why they're Facebooking. We all just want to be seen, I think. I think we all just want to be seen, felt, heard, understood, loved. And that's why we publicly And that's why Farmville works. Because we just want to be seen. That's why people Facebook into the void. That's why people fake their own deaths. That's why if you go on insane people Facebook, it's just a bunch of people who want to be loved, which is kind of is stupid to say, but I guess that's true. And sometimes love makes you say completely insane, horrible things on Facebook, is what I'm saying. Okay.
From.
Hi, my name is Bob. I'm 22.
To accept.
Hello?
Hello?
What's your name?
My name is Bob.
Well, Bob, what's going on? How can I get you today?
Well, I actually have a question.
Go ahead.
Maybe it's because I'm mostly a podcast listener, but I've noticed you don't really ever get anyone on the show that's like super trolly. Like there's never anyone who's called in and been like, boobs or whatever, then hung up. I was kind of curious about why that was.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, that nobody has called in and gone, boobs, whatever. Because I too thought, when I first started this, that there would be a lot more people calling in and saying, boobs, yeah. And I'll say the show, so the way, like, I don't know how much I talk about this on the podcast, but this show first started as a thing that I would do on the Reddit Public Access Network back in, like, 2020. I don't know, are you familiar with the Reddit Public Access Network?
Yeah, I never really got, like, on it, but, like, I knew of it.
It never took off. It was this weird thing where for, like, a year or two, maybe not even that long, like about a year, Reddit had live streams where you could go live, and if your streams got popular, they'd go to the front page of Reddit. And so the way that this show first started is I was fucking around as Therapy Gecko taking phone calls on Reddit. And when I was doing that was like, my streams would go to the front page. So I'd have like 42,000 concurrent viewers watching the show. And like almost all of them had no idea who I was or cared or anything like that. And so I was definitely getting fucked with a lot more back when I was doing that. Like people would call in and just like try to, be an asshole. But even back then, truly, I was astounded at how little that would happen. Even back then, like maybe like once a month, someone would call in just to, say something bad and hang up. But I thought it was going to happen every single time I went live, to be honest. I thought my stream was just going to get kind of vandalized. And that's why people kept telling me that. They're like, I would never put up a phone number because someone's going to say something and I'm going to get banned from Twitch. And I'm like, that doesn't really happen. And even when it would happen, I wouldn't make it a big fucking deal. I wouldn't stop the stream and be like, I do not condone. I would just be like, that was stupid. Okay, let's move on. Because that's what they want you to do. They want you to get pissed off and make a whole big deal out of it because they want attention. That's really it. But dude, for real, I am very pleasantly surprised that like 99.99999% of people that I have spoken to, the thousands of fucking phone calls I've taken since doing on the Reddit streams and the Twitch streams and the podcast, all that stuff, genuine people, for real, like genuine, cool. They just want to talk. Or if they are being trolly or saying boobs or whatever, it's not out of any malice. Maybe it's just because they're nervous or they don't know what to say or they were trying to be funny. Like nobody, I don't think anyone's really come on here with true, honest to God, negative malice. And if they ever did, it was, 3 out of 1,000, which is kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy to me. It's funny. I've talked about this before. Of all the people that I meet doing this, whether it's on the phone or in person, again, like pleasant interactions, extremely pleasant interactions over the phone and in person when I do my live shows. Like I don't have any bad experiences meeting, talking to any of these people on the phone or in person. It's mainly like on the comments section of things and in the chats. You know what I mean? Where people are just going insane. You know. I mean, even I'll say that the Twitch chat is cool. The Twitch chat, it does not, but still, it's like it's so funny to me because I'll look at the Instagram comments of like a clip of some kind that I've posted, and you know, everyone is like, people are getting into crazy fights and just acting like lunatics, and then I meet these same people in person, and everyone's awesome. It's funny, and they're the same fucking people. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about, because like it sounds like I'm setting up for a bit, but I promise you I'm not. Like,
Go ahead. Do a bit. I don't care. Do a bit.
No, I seriously don't have a bit. I was just curious because like I primarily listen to the podcast, and then I had that thought. So then I started watching more streams, and I'm still like, the ratio here is insane because I don't ever see anyone call in and do anything stupid. Like I think most shows that are call-in have those kinds of people, and it just seems like yours doesn't, which is nuts.
Yeah, and I'm also very happy with like the size of my show. Like I'm not like if whatever XQC or someone like that opens their line to phone calls, I'm sure that would happen a lot. But I'm at a fantastic, perfect size of audience where the people who listen are just like, I mean, that's the dream, right? Is you're popular enough that the only people who like know about you are people who are like, you know, actually like give a fuck about what you're doing, and not like, you know, people who not being like someone crazy internet famous who people just kind of will want to fuck with just because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that a bunch of like 14-year-olds in the Discord chat have not been like, hey, let's go say a bunch of horrible racist things on the Therapy Geckos stream. You know, like that's happened way less than I thought it would. Sorry, what did you say? I talked over you.
That's why I'm like, I wonder if maybe I've just like missed it, or because for whatever reason, like maybe it's that it is happening on the show and it's just cut out of the cast. But no, I guess not.
No, I mean I cut a lot of phone calls off of the Twitch stream before I put it into the podcast, but nothing like with malicious intent. Part of me wonders if, because I'm probably going to put this conversation on the podcast, and part of me wonders if we're jinxing it a little bit. But I don't think so. I don't think that this is going to jinx it. I don't.
I was hoping that like by calling in and asking, I wouldn't make it worse, because I'm sure other people have had the same thought.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that the people, like, I think that the people who would want to just, like, call in and vandalize the stream are the people who, they left a long time ago because they didn't actually give a fuck about, like, being here and listening to any of this, so it kind of makes sense when you think about it like that.
Have there been any calls that you've had that have been super long-winded that maybe you thought was somebody pulling your leg? Because there's been a couple where I've been like, I feel like that was an act.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. 100%. 100%. You know what? I'm going to say this, and this is, fuck it. So you remember a caller who talked about jizzing on pizzas?
Yes, that was the one I thought of. Like that was
okay.
Right?
A few days after I put that out or whatever, or had the call, I went on Discord, and I was just like browsing my Discord, and I saw a guy in the Discord be like, "Hey, that was me who was talking about that. I was just pulling a prank." And I was like, "Don't please." And I didn't know. It wasn't even funny. I was like, "Don't do that, man. I hate that."
That's crazy. No, the one success is the I think there was this lady who like thought she was like fucking with aliens for some reason.
Yeah, sure. The lady who I remember, no, exactly who you're talking about. The lady who thought that she was like she claimed to be a high-ranking government official who gets abducted by aliens regularly. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think the question of that one, I think I would say confidently whoever I was speaking with on the phone believed what they were saying to be true.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a toss-up for me. Like, part of me was like, this person is either like possibly mentally ill or pulling a prank. But either way, like, I think you handled it really well.
Well, thanks. Oh, also because I think it's not fun to constantly be like, this is fake and stupid. I really, someone was asking me about this today. I really believe, like, from sitting in the driver's seat of this thing, my perspective is that most people are telling the truth and coming on here to be sincere.
Yeah.
I think there's like a handful that aren't, but like you look at the YouTube comments and every fucking video someone's like, you know what, I'm actually really smart and know everything and this is fake. And it's like, dude, you don't it feels like ignorant to me to like say that everything is fucking fake and like that you know that it's fake. It's just I don't like it. It feels ignorant.
Yeah, it's a weird flex.
It's a weird flex.
No, I think most comment sections like kind of have their own vibe of terrible. Like, you look at the YouTube comment section and it's just completely stupid, but like in the Reddit comment section, it's like people fighting over the dumbest shit you've ever heard of in your life.
Actually, okay, I want to say this real quick. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say this. I know I said just like 2 seconds ago that everyone in the YouTube comment section is crazy. I take that back. A lot of people in the YouTube comment section, people are pretty cool. It's in like the short form, like the TikTok comment section is filled with insane people. I will never take that back. But actually, I've been reading all the YouTube comments, like on the recent podcast, because I'm curious, because these conversations feel like conversations that I'm having alone. And so after I have them, a little part of my brain is like, did anyone else hear that at all? Like, was that just a conversation? I know that they are because I'm doing it as a fucking podcast, but it doesn't feel like, I mean, I'm the only person in this room right now as I'm talking to you. It feels like I'm just talking to you. So I like going on YouTube and being like, what do other people think about this guy? Like, we had that guy, Rowdy, that kid who is obsessed with his teacher, and I read every single comment that people had to say about him and his situation. And I actually really want to say this. I felt as though a lot of the people in the YouTube comment section, if not the majority, like 99%, were very thoughtful, very kind, and very well-intentioned in their responses. And that made me very happy. You know, because I think a lot of people, especially for that call, I think a lot of people maybe had a reflex to criticize and focus on the things that were negative, and I was a little worried that would happen. I mean, worried. I can't control what other people think and say, but I was pleasantly surprised that was not the case, and that people were being thoughtful and helpful. Because I was reading, because in the podcast, the kid talked about how he's gonna wants to read the YouTube comments, and he was like, "Are you gonna post this on YouTube? Because I want to read the comments and I want to hear what other people are saying about it." And so I was reading the YouTube comments, imagining myself as that caller reading them, and I was like, okay, I think I didn't see any comments that I was like, that would be a concerning idea to put in this dude's head. You know what I mean? Like, everything I read, I was imagining him reading it, and I was like, okay, this is actually like, seems as though it will be helpful to this person to get these people's perspectives. The people came in with good and positive perspectives. Part of me was, I was reading it and I was considering making it like a segment of the podcast where I would like read comments. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. The real reason I don't know if I'm gonna do that is because it's a bunch of fucking work. And I also I also really I want the podcast to be like insular. Like I want it so that you can click on any episode and there's no like some fucking podcasts they're about like their they're about like their inside jokes and their community and stuff. And I don't like that. I like the idea that you can click on any episode and you don't need any backstory or context to know what we're talking about. But I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who cares? Who cares about anything?
Yeah, I like the guy a lot. Yeah, Rowdy seems like cool. But no, that's awesome. I guess a lot of it has to do with just community because it's neat that a lot of people were on there offering him some decent advice. I feel like a lot of the times with like negative comments, it's more on like the short form stuff. I don't really poke around on like YouTube video comments. It's mostly like shorts. Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's why I was saying that the TikTok comments are kind of insane because it is mainly like short form. Because you really can't get a good perspective on something in a minute, whereas these people are presumably I mean they could have just been listening for 1 minute and gone right to the comments section, but these people are presumably listening for a full fucking 40 minutes to this guy talk about his life, and they're getting invested, and they come to know they come to know him as a full human being instead of as much as you can come to know somebody as a full human being in 40 minutes, but you can do that more in 40 minutes than you can in one. So that makes
for
sense.
sure. Yeah, there's still stuff you can relate to.
Do you not go on the internet?
Oh no, I do. Just not as much anymore.
You sound like a healthy individual.
Yeah, I mean maybe. I got off of Reddit just because I stopped caring about Reddit. I mean I watch YouTube during like lunches and stuff. I keep up with the news. I'm not like entirely disconnected. I'm just not super like socially linked in.
Yeah.
Get rid of Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Yeah, Twitter's horrible. I hate Twitter. I hate it so
Terrible.
much. It's horrible. I don't post on Twitter anymore. I deleted my Twitter back in years ago. But I have lurker accounts just so I can like scroll, and it's awful. I was scrolling Twitter the other day on my little like burner account that I have just to read it, and I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Every single time I come on here, it's just like it just makes me upset. Like there's no reason for me to do this. And I was like I would type therapy Gecko into the search bar like a fucking crazy person to see if like anyone on Twitter was like talking about me or talking about the podcast. And it was like, what am I? This is just like a horrible. And then it's like your social media programming, where like your brain just like does things fucking automatically. Like I trained my brain to automatically do this and automatically scroll on Twitter. And at a certain point, it was like snapping out of fucking brainwashing. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is insane. This is insanity.
Yeah,
I'm
like
dying. I'm slowly fucking dying, and I'm sitting on here like. Getting mad on Twitter. Like, what am I doing, dude?
I did this. I remember being on the toilet and being like, I can't do this anymore. I'm too angry. The algorithms work way too well. Like, I think that everyone has that moment where they come out of it a little bit and they're like, this isn't working for me. This isn't healthy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even like I don't feel bad playing video games anymore. I used to think maybe video games was a waste of time, but in this timeline in 2024, if you in this world where like your attention is kind of being like taken away from you through like just the brainwashing of like I'm programmed to go on Twitter and scroll mindlessly. If you can resist that and be like intentional with how you want to waste your time, like there's almost something weirdly productive about that. Like I would like spending 3 hours mindlessly scrolling TikTok is way worse than spending 3 hours like playing a video game or watching a movie or reading a book that you intentionally chose to, consume, that was designed as like art, that's not just like weird brain, even like a nice YouTube video essay or something like that. It's not just like a weird brain rotty fucking thing.
Because then you're at least being like intentionally lazy. Like there's still soft skills you can get from like playing video games or reading or doing something else. But like with doom scrolling, you don't ever get anything out of it. Like I cannot remember what I looked at as soon as I put my phone down from like playing on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. Like it vacates my brain immediately. It's gone.
Exactly. I watched The Whale 5 days ago. Thought about it every day since.
The Whale.
The Whale, the Whale, Brendan Fraser. The Whale.
The guy and his daughter.
Yeah, the guy's got a daughter and he's obese. Are you still there?
Yeah, was it good?
It's crazy. It's a really uncomfortable movie to watch.
Like uncomfortable how?
Like well, here's another thing. I'm like I don't look like the Whale, but like I'm a little overweight, and I think if you're like a little overweight, it's more uncomfortable to watch because the guy is kind of like wheezing and having a heart attack the entire fucking movie, and it kind of makes your I was watching it and I felt like I was having a heart attack vicariously through him in the movie.
It's terrible.
No, it's terrible. It's not a fun movie. It's not a fun movie to watch, but it's great. It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Okay,
but it's extremely uncomfortable. I watched that. I watched Inside Out. I thought about that a little bit. It's a really weird movie night. Inside Out and The Whale, but that's what it was.
Yeah, no kidding. No, on a side note, I like super relate to your problem with like snack food. I went through like an entire box of Thin Mints like an hour ago.
Oh, Thin Mints are great.
They're great. Someone brought me like an entire box, because they like go to like food pantries.
Yeah. And
they were like, yeah, well, someone just left this here. I got it for free, and I'm not going to eat them. So here you. Now I've got 7 boxes of Thin Mints.
Oh, that's not cool, man. That's so.
No,
yeah, that's not cool, man. But I once got a fucking I got someone sent me 30 Mr. Beast bars that were just sitting around my house, and they weren't sitting around for long. They were like full size candy bars. It was not cool, man. It was not cool,
man.
You know what I love is those. I go to this bodega every day, and they always have they have these chewy Chips Ahoy's with Reese's, and every single I go to that bodega every day to get like whatever breakfast and shit, and I always look, I always make eye contact with the chewy Chips Ahoy Reese's, and every day I have to answer the question, what kind of day is today gonna be? Because if I buy those, I'm not gonna it's not gonna be like a grocery. It's not gonna be like I have a few in there, like in the pantry. I have them if guests come over, or whatever. It's like if I buy them, I'm standing outside of the bodega and eating the entire package. And then after, if that's how your day starts, there's no going back. You have to take NyQuil and go to sleep and start over. There's no returning from doing that with your morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. But again, you seem like a normal person. You seem like a well-adjusted man.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
Is there anything wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sure.
That's a really awesome response. I respect that. Well, thanks for asking me these questions and letting me talk on this thing. It's fun to talk. I get why people call in to talk on this thing. It's fun to talk on. It
is. I mean, really, I thank you for answering, because it was mostly just to satisfy my own curiosity.
Sorry, can you say that again? You cut out.
You've got like a good community. Oh, well, thank you for answering my question.
Do you have any more questions or comments or thoughts or concerns before we go?
I don't think so, no.
Well, Bob, God bless you. And
Oh,
God
you remembered
bless
my
you.
name.
Yeah, go ahead. I did. I
never
did
do
remember
that.
your name. I remember your name, and I never do that. I feel
Wow.
I feel mentally clear today in a weird way.
I feel honored.
As you should be. As you should be.
All right, take it easy, guy.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.
That guy's awesome. I love that guy. Hello, folks. It's Lyle here. That's the end of this episode. But get this. I'm releasing a bonus episode this week. That's right. An entire extra hour of the podcast that you can listen to by becoming a premium member of Therapy Gecko over at therapygecko.supercast.com. Supercast subscribers get access to bonus episodes. They get a completely ad-free podcast feed of the regular show. They get recordings from my live shows, members-only streams, and they help support my ability to continue doing this podcast. So here's a clip from this week's members-only bonus episode.
And she turns the phone around so I can see it. And in the 10 seconds that she's showing me her phone, a text drops down. And, I'm not a snoopy person. But naturally your eyes just kind of, it kind of catches your eye. And the only thing I saw was that it was a guy's name, Mark. It's spelled M-A-R-C. And that's why I knew that it had to be the same guy because the spelling was the same. And so now I'm in a situation where I found out just yesterday that I've invited both of these people to my birthday party this weekend. And she's going to show up and he's going to show up unless I do something about it.
So it's just like a weird thing where she's seeing you romantically and him romantically at the same time.
And we're about to be in the same house. Right.
Okay. If you want to hear this full conversation, you can sign up to become a premium member at therapygecko.supercast.com or find the link in the episode description. That's therapygecko.supercast.com. All right, I have nothing else to say.